All of my heroes are cornballs. They really are. I feel like this album, or I'm sorry, this video might be a little bit shorter than the average additional thoughts video, just because I was thinking about what to say coming into this, and all that can pop into my head for the most part is, it's just so cool. You know, it's so much fun to listen to. And I thought, well, that's going to make for a shitty video, because it would. And so I tried to dig into the idea a little bit more, like what's really going on here. And with Veteran, people were so excited about Veteran and JPEG Mafia and my hearing him for the first time, and oh man, you gotta listen to him, he's so good, and this and that. And I still think to date, and I'm at my 1 year point basically now for this channel. To date, Veteran has been my favorite initial listening experience, and I enjoyed that album. I honestly don't listen to it too much, but I do enjoy that album. But I remember thinking, kind of stepping back from it and thinking, wow, people are really, really, really into JPEG Mafia, and I'm kind of surprised because Veteran, it being the only album I had heard at that point, there's a lot of tension there, and it's kind of dark, and it's angry, and it's in a way it's almost stressful, and so I was like, I'm surprised so many people are into that. Like honestly, like not that you can't be. I like heavy stuff too, but the excitement that I had seen surrounding JPEG Mafia and his music, to me, it was an odd pairing with that specific album. But after hearing Cornballs, what's so cool about Cornballs to me is that it's definitely the same person. It's definitely that same just unique, organic, kind of mind-blowing journey through sound, but it's a little bit lighter. It feels like with this album, this being after Veteran, I know Veteran hit pretty well for Peggy, and so he kind of went in that direction. Just started maybe he started trusting himself more, trusting his ideas more, following through with them more. I don't know. I also saw a thing after doing the Veteran album. I saw a podcast that he was on. I don't remember what it was called. No Jumper, I think was the podcast. Yeah, the guy asked him, are you bored with hip hop? And Peggy's like, oh my God, I'm so bored with hip hop. I'm so. And so I wonder how all of that plays into it. I after Veteran and hearing some of that podcast and what Peggy was saying about hip hop in general and just being bored, and then also I heard him say on the interview how he has stuff that he doesn't put out because it's just too crazy. Like he thinks the stuff on Veteran is kind of crazy, but he has stuff that's way crazier than that. Cornballs is even more tamed out and mellow compared to some of the stuff that he has. And to me, that's almost an interesting contradiction in the sense of being bored with hip hop and wanting to change it. Well, I don't know if he wants to change it, but just do something different, and being this just very unique musical mind, but then also kind of playing, I don't want to say censor or gatekeeper for his own stuff, and kind of, no, this is too crazy, I'm not going to put that in there, whatever. Sorry, my wife's making cupcakes. Yay, cupcakes. I kind of wondered, I wonder how he feels about some of the stuff that he's left off the table, some of the stuff that he hasn't put out there yet, because I agree in the sense that Cornballs is, you could say, it's more accessible. It's certainly easier to listen to in the sense that because it's lighter, it has a little bit more of a playful feeling. And so it is just, you can put it on and listen to it and enjoy it. And that was definitely an experience I had. But then I think back to Veteran and I think, I really like Veteran also because it's so intense. And it is just this ride, this experience. But in the same vein, it's almost like it's too intense and therefore I don't listen to it as often. Which is strange. It's been fun. It's been fun listening to Cornballs. What I need to do is put Veteran on again because I haven't listened to it after spending this week with Cornballs. I need to listen to Veteran again and just see how I feel about it now. And just having these two pieces, I definitely want to hear LP now, of course. I'm going to do that in the future. There's this other artist, I guess, called Backxwash, who's this crazy industrial metal rapper. And she's got this album, Here I Lay Dead with my rings in my dresses or some shit like that. And apparently she's going to open for Peggy in some show. So I'm like, oh, I kind of want to check her out now. Other people have recommended her. She doesn't come up very often. I think she's still kind of relatively small. But I want to check her out. Do you see that? It's Mr. Thompson. Mr. Thompson's here.
I saw Rufy.
And Mr. Thompson.
Oh, hang on. Mr. Thompson.
Mr. Thompson. We have cat issues in the backyard. And we have all these stray cats that come by, and we've named them all, and some of them are mean, and Mr. Thompson is not a nice cat. I totally forgot what the fuck I was talking about. Oh, Backxwash. Want to check her out, for sure. Wow, I'm mentally completely derailed. I don't even think I'm going to edit this out. I think I'm just going to leave it in. I think all that rambling that I had earlier about Veteran and Cornballs and, the intensity, the darkness versus the playful, light, easy listening. I think really what I want to say is I sincerely hope, and Peggy, I don't know if you'll see this or not, but I sincerely hope that he is making decisions based off of what he wants to express. I really hope that's the case. I really hope, I watched some of the videos where it's, Kenny Beats is disappointed and there's some other guys that are disappointed where he's playing some of these tracks from Cornballs for the first time. And some of these people are like, what the fuck is going on? It was cool to see Kenny so confused, yet no, bro, that was crazy cool, crazy cool. Because I've heard stories about comedians and how when they work, some of them live with each other when they're, they're kind of trying to make it. They're up and coming. They live with each other. They do shows and they bounce jokes off of each other. And I remember one comedian said in the story about how it sucks pitching your material to other comedians because they don't laugh. They go, oh, yeah, that's really good. But they don't laugh. And obviously as a comedian, you want them to laugh. It reminded me of that watching Kenny Beats' face just But then him turn around and go, no, dude, that was sick. That was so crazy good, I, again, totally forgot my thought process here. This has been a wonderful, wonderful video so far. Stone sober, by the way. I've had a drop of beer. Now I remember. I think with JPEG Mafia, I'm really excited to see what he does with Danny Brown. That collaboration is going to be fucking incredible. I'm going to be on that. When that happens, I'm on it. I'm definitely going to do that one. And hopefully day of. I would like to do it day of. I kind of like the day of. It was fun doing Kendrick day of and just being in the mix with everybody else. I got to listen to LP. I got to listen to some of the EPs. But what I want to say is JPEG Mafia, you talk about how you have this stuff that you don't put out, it's too crazy, and a lot of the stuff that you have put out you feel is tame, relatively speaking. All well and good, you make the decision. Obviously, you're the artist. But one thing I have learned from listening to the fans and from my own experience is that we really, really enjoy the unique sounds, the mind-bending experience, the incredible music that you put out there, because some of it's so fucking off the wall. And I've said this over and over again, but I mean it. I've never heard anything like this before, and I love it. I love it. I was thinking about Tyler, the Creator, and how I have felt, for the most part, up until now, he's probably the most creative person in terms of changing his sound and growing and evolving. And I think that's still true in a sense, but I just kind of naturally took that growth, evolution over time and applied it into, therefore he is the most creative. And maybe just his name being that, has put some sort of subconscious bias onto it. But I think JPEG is the most creative person. Yeah, it's just some of these samples, these people fucking talking and then random claps and then it just stops. And you'll have that beat that comes in at the end of Post-Verified Lifestyle. That super chill sound, JPEG Mafia style beat is fucking incredible. Free the Frail, I think, is my favorite track off of the album. Maybe it's fitting that this video that I'm sharing, my thoughts are so helter-skelter because I'm talking about JPEG Mafia and his music is so helter-skelter. Maybe it's all his fault. maybe my brain has been bouncing around with his music for so long this week that I can no longer form like coherent, sustained thought. It's a nice problem to have. It's a nice problem to have. Wonderful album. You know, the people who go back and forth say, oh no, LP's my favorite. Oh no, Cornballs is my favorite. I gotta hear LP. I gotta hear LP. Anyway, there you go. I mean, it's kind of 10.5 minutes of just pure nonsense for the most part. And that does seem fitting. Love the album. Really did love the album. I still think Veteran, in terms of first listen experience on that musical trip, I think Veteran is still my top like experience I don't want necessarily reaction video, but first listen experience. Man, fucking Veteran was just unbelievable. Unbelievable. But Cornballs is great because it's still that Peggy spirit, but just a little bit lighter. Not as much stress and compression and strain and frustration. You know, there's still some bangers in there, but he's just, I don't know, he's freer, he's looser. You know, he's just not tight. I like it. I really like it. Okay, there you go. Friday is Run the Jewels 1 and 2. So it'll be 2 videos on Friday because I think each album is, I don't know, half hour-ish, maybe a little bit longer than that. They're not very long. I look forward to those. Lots of people talking about Run the Jewels. Pretty good group, sounds like. Hopefully I get to hear Zach De La Rocha. That'll be fun to hear him not as Rage Against the Machine. And yeah, I guess I'll see you guys on Friday.